which I want to hand into the embassy for Prime Minister of Hungary, Mr. Orban. Dear Prime Minister Orban, my name is Judith Mailad, sister of the late Eva Rhodes, a British citizen who was brutally murdered in Hungary on the 10th of September 2008. After 2.5 incredibly difficult and painful years, the Hungarian authorities, even at the time when they hold the EU presidency, refused to cooperate. I would appeal to you to help secure truth and justice for my late sister and her family, for as I will outline below, we have sadly so far been denied both by the Hungarian authorities. As someone who has devoted the last 15 years to issues of human rights and in particular disarmament, for which we have awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in '97, I, like you, believe in those fundamental values of truth and justice for all. You are our last chance of achieving both. Eva, who had run an animal rescue sanctuary for 12 years, disappeared on the 10th of September 2008 in Hungary, in the west of Hungary. More than 7 months later, after her disappearance, was raised by her family. Her skull and a few of her bones were found on her estate in Böny, Szőlőhegy. Augustini Csaba, 31, an unemployed trained boxer, subsequently confessed to the murder. He admitted punching her in the face, striking her down, setting her on fire. It is unclear whether she was still alive when he burned her. Burying her remains and stealing her valuables before disappearing with the help of others. For this horrific and barbaric crime, the murderer was sentenced to just 10 years imprisonment, subject to appeal. The case and investigation have been filled with grave mistakes, which raises deeply disturbing questions about the judicial process and denies us truth and justice. It is a case which reflects badly on Hungary. The police have failed to conduct a thorough inquiry. Evidence has been destroyed and contaminated. Crucial forensic tests, which would have established the truth, refused, and the family denied a voice. Indeed, during the drive for truth and justice, the family have themselves suffered intimidation while coming up against what we view as a conspiracy of silence orchestrated by those who should be helping. The continued refusal of Hungary to invite British assistance in my sister's murder case merely compounds our pain and adds to the cover-up that shames a country supposedly setting an example for the rest of Europe during the EU presidency. Prime Minister, now is the time for Hungary to show political will and do everything in its power to cooperate and act in the spirit of the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union. The victim's daughter, Sophie Barta, who is suffering from multiple sclerosis, was falsely accused of disturbing the court, fined £2,000 and ordered out of the courtroom, threatened with arrest by 6 armed policemen, and denied the chance to challenge flawed evidence in court. The family was denied the right to sit next to her lawyer throughout the trial. Instead, the victim's family was forced to sit behind the murderer. On several occasions, the family was exposed to cynical remarks and abuse by the judge. This bias has roots in 2001. Since then, the court and the police have been in litigation against Eva Rhodes and her daughter Sophie. Took the police to court of human rights in Strasbourg, alleging human rights abuses after she and her mother were physically assaulted by a Győr policeman. The Hungarian state was found guilty and ordered to pay compensation in connection with this case. This background raises questions about the impartiality of the police, the prosecution, and the court in the murder case of my sister. What has taken place would support the case the court has been prejudiced against both Eva and her family, who have been denied a fair trial. This incontestably suggests that the case must be moved from the Győr, Moson, Sopron judiciary. Early on in this investigation, I, as a victim's sister, was threatened by legal action by Győr's chief of police, Mr. Szabadfi, in the presence of the local government for my criticism over the police handling of their inquiries. There is little doubt that evidence in the case was mishandled, destroyed, and deliberately lost. The Hungarian forensic examination is incomplete, inconclusive, and to this day Eva's torso is missing. Due to the Hungarian incomplete and thus inconclusive forensic examination to this day, neither the circumstances nor the cause of Eva's death could be established exactly. Faced with so many problems, the case was taken up by the distinguished former British Foreign Secretary, Sir Markham Rifkind, the family's London Member of Parliament. There are tests available that would provide many answers, and as Eva was a British citizen, both Scotland Yard and scientists that are willing to help, but you will appreciate they must first be invited to do so by your government. The family's appeal to the courts in Győr to allow British assistance was formally rejected by the county court in Győr on the 5th of September 2010. This, despite Hungarian forensic experts acknowledged in court that the examination gave insufficient clarity and questions remained unanswered. This is a family tragedy, both in Eva's death but also in our denial of justice and explanation in Hungary, a denial highlighted in the international media. The remains of Eva, such as they are held by the British coroner in London due to the authorities and the family's decision. Forensic experts of international standing are on standby, and Scotland Yard has indicated its willingness to assist if asked. All we are desperately waiting for is for Hungary to hand over all documentation requested by the British government and fully cooperate, given that we are dealing with the murder of a British citizen, and thereby achieve surely what we all want and demand for our loved ones: truth and justice. On behalf of my sister and her family, I would appeal to you to sanction this move without further delay. I would obviously be very happy to provide you with a full, detailed briefing of the case, and what, after examination, I am sure you will agree are in the very least incompetence, followed by a cover-up. This is the letter I want to hand in to the embassy now. Let's see whether they will take it on. Jó napot kívánok! Ezt szeretném átadni, nincs borítékban, hogy semmiből ne legyen probléma. Én vagyok Eva Rhodes testvére, ez egy Thank
you very much.
So
Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.